friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Tori. Today I am going to be doing a book haul for you guys. So everything in this book haul will be books that I purchased during the month of like December, late November, and also books that I was gifted over Christmas this year. And since I'm going to be doing a very limited book buying habit here in 2024, the book hauls on the channel going forward are probably going to be much farther between because I am embarking on the all-important quest to read my bookshelves in 2024 because I have so many books on these shelves. I did a whole video about it where I basically counted all of the books that I have not read on my shelves, and it gave me anxiety. So I am going to be committing to reading the books on my shelves this year, which means that the purchasing of books is going to slow down immensely here in 2024. But today I have some very exciting new acquisitions to share with you guys that I can't wait to read and include in my Read Your Bookshelves challenge. I'm going to start with the lovely little pile of books that I was gifted for Christmas here in 2023. And the first one is The Legend of Eli Monpress by Rachel Aaron. This was very kindly gifted to me by my good friend Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads. And he said that if I love The Lies of Locke Lamora, that I'm going to love Eli Monpress. And you know what? I'm sold. I'm here for it. I don't know anything about this book. It was not even something that I'd heard of before I think Andrew started reading it like a month ago or something like that. Hadn't heard of it. And it sounds amazing. It sounds like there's some heisty thievery going on and that there's some Lies of Locke Lamora vibes. I don't really need more than that to be excited about it. So thank you so much, Andrew. I cannot wait to get to this year. And the beautiful part about this, we love these omnibus editions where it has the first three volumes in one book. So they're going to be really short, snappy reads, and I'm here for that. The next book is a beautiful edition of a book on my wish list from my Secret Santa from the Wizardly Enclave Discord. I'm pretty sure I said that name correctly. It's gone through a few iterations in the last year, but we did a Secret Santa gift exchange in that Discord, and I was gifted The Will of the Many by James Islington, which is a book that I have had on my wish list for a while. It's this beautiful hardcover edition. I absolutely love this cover. I am actually a sucker for a good simple typography style cover. It has these really cool broken columns in the back. I think it's really beautiful. I don't know anything about this for the most part. I do know that it has been getting rave reviews from a lot of people that I know and trust. So really looking forward to that. I have not read James Islington yet, but this seems like as good a place to start as any. Huge thank you to my Secret Santa from the Wizardly Enclave for gifting me this beautiful book. Next up, I received a pair of books from my dear friend Kay over at Kay's Hidden Shelf. And she got me Dynasty Killers by Baptiste Ponsonwu, which is book 3 in the Three Kingdoms Chronicles, which is a historical fiction series by a fellow indie author friend of mine who is writing this beautiful, incredibly brutal series about a tumultuous time in Asian history. It's one of the bloodiest civil wars in the entire world history. And this is book 3, and I'm really excited to add this to my collection because I need to keep reading this series. So now I have everything that has been released in it so far. And the other one that she sent me was a book that I have, again, had on my wish list for quite a long time, and I have heard so many good things about it, and that is The Hall of Bones, The Brotherhood of the Eagle, Book 1 by Tim Hardy. Now, if I remember correctly, this is kind of a ancient Western European, Nordic maybe, inspired fantasy, and I have heard so many people say that Tim Hardy's writing in this book is spectacular, that the story is really good, and I am just here to read more fantastic indie books. So, Kay, thank you so much for gifting me both of these beautiful books. I cannot wait to get to both of them. Next up, I did another Secret Santa gift exchange, this time over on the Library of Alexandria Discord, which is run by Alan from the Library of Alexandria. And my incredibly generous Secret Santa bought me 2 editions from my wish list, one of which is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. Of the Brandon Sanderson secret projects that came out this last year, Yumi was definitely the one that piqued my interest the most of the five now, I can't keep up. And I am really excited to read this one. I don't know much about it because I didn't keep up with all of the lore that was going on about the Sanderson secret projects as much as I probably should have, but I am really looking forward to maybe dipping my toes back into some Brandon Sanderson this next year, and Yumi and the Nightmare Painter sounds really good, so I'm really excited to get to this one. And the other volume that they sent me was the Elric of Melniboné Saga Volume 1 by Michael Moorcock. This is a classic fantasy and a very morally gray anti-hero main character, Elric. I don't know much about the story, but I know that this is a classic that is much beloved by a lot of different people, and it sounds like there's a lot of kind of grimdark elements to it. So again, we love an omnibus edition, and this one has the first 4 volumes of the Elric saga in it, so this will get me started to seeing if Elric of Melniboné is a classic that I will really enjoy reading. I am excited to try it out. So huge thank you to my very generous and wonderful Secret Santa from Library of Alexandria gift exchange. I really appreciate these beautiful books and I cannot wait to read them. I was also sent one review copy by an author this past month, and that was Undead Samurai by Baptiste Ponsonwu, who is also, as you saw, the author of the historical fiction Three Kingdoms Chronicles. This one is a fantasy Asian-inspired book. This one features a Ronin samurai protagonist and undead hordes, and I'm very excited. I do have the ebook edition of this that I had started about a couple weeks ago, and I'm really looking forward to finishing this book. All right, now let's get into the books that I purchased this last month. This is a little bit smaller than the stacks I've had in hauls previous to this, but honestly, that's a good thing because my shelves are already bursting, and like I said, I am working my way down to limited book purchasing. The first one was a non-SFF book called Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. She has written a couple of books that I'm interested in trying out. I have not read anything of hers before, but this one is the story of 2 young girls who meet and become best friends. They're very different people, and then it spans their lifetimes over the next 30 years and how their relationship changes and the tumults and all of the things. And I just thought that that sounded really interesting. It starts in the 1970s. I am very curious to see if I enjoy Kristen Hanna's writing, because if I do, there are definitely a couple of other books of hers that I'm very interested in trying out. Next up, on my quest to purchase everything that Daniel Abraham has written, I had to take a little bit of a sidestep into science fiction. So I picked up The Expanse Book 1, Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey, half of which is Daniel Abraham. This has been made into a adaptation, I think, is it on Netflix? I can't remember. But anyways, it's now a TV show. And I know nothing about this series other than the fact that it includes a science fiction band of rogue misfits. And you guys know that a motley crew will get me every time. I know that it might seem a little bit intimidating because of the length of the series, but I actually think that it's going to be a fun time. I'm really looking forward to it. So here's to me trying out some more science fiction in 2024. Next up, I went to a small local bookshop and I found book 4 of Daniel Abraham's Dagger and Coin series, The Widow's House. And I was really excited about that because I happen to already own the first 3 out of the 5, and when I saw this for a super cheap price and it was in such pristine condition, I got really excited and bought it. So this is book 4 of Dagger and Coin. After loving the Long Price Quartet so much, I knew that I wanted to read everything else that Daniel Abraham has read. So we will see what the Dagger and Coin has in store for us, but I'm really looking forward to it. At the same small bookshop, I picked up this beautiful cover copy of Andre Norton's Forerunner. Now, Andre Norton is one of the authors that I am going to be featuring in my monthly book club this year, which is called Cosmic Footsteps. I did talk about that in my January reading plans and my channel goals for 2024 video. There's a couple different spots where I talk about it. And Andre Norton was known as the Grand Dame of Fantasy back in the, I think, 60s and 70s, and she is not talked about hardly at all on on BookTube, and I am on a mission to discover who she was as a writer and to read some of her work and to talk about it on my channel. So when I saw this gorgeous hardcover of Forerunner, I don't know anything about the story, but I had to have it on my shelves, and it's going to fit in very nicely to the monthly book club here in 2024. Next up is a book I bought that I already owned, but that was intentional. So I picked up Dead House Gates by Steven Erikson. Now obviously I own like 3 different editions of this book already. I have the hardcover, I have the mass market paperback, and I also bought the trade paperback, or so I thought. I purchased it, and lo and behold, it was a kind of knockoff Amazon print-on-demand copy. So I didn't want that on my shelves with all of the other beautiful trade paperbacks that I have for this series, so I did wait until I was able to find this beautiful older, I think UK edition, yes, it's the UK edition of Dead House Gates. My trade paperbacks for this series do not all match, and that's okay, but at least now I have a legitimate copy of the book. I am honestly so excited to reread this book this year, I cannot wait. Next up, I purchased another indie fantasy book called Sea of Souls by N.C. Scrimgeour, and this book is the hardcover edition, which I purchased, because it's absolutely stunning. If you take off the dust jacket, you get this absolutely stunning naked hardcover. Look at that design. It's hiding my face so you guys can actually see it. Look how beautiful this book is, you guys. The color, the design on it is absolutely stunning. The interior has these beautiful pages. There are these beautiful maps on the inside and a very special interior illustration done by a familiar artist. And that is my best friend Sarah Ferrari, who did this beautiful Selkie illustration here in the beginning of the book. So obviously I had to own a copy of it, and I am really excited to read this book because it sounds like a really unique premise, and I am always here for that. The next 2 books on this list are both by classic SFF female authors that I will be hopefully including in the future in my Cosmic Footsteps book club, and the first one is Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. I have heard nothing but praise for this and Kindred, both of which are, I think, her most popular works. I'm really looking forward to reading this, and I'm not sure when in 2024 I'm going to get to it yet, but I really look forward to reading my first book by her. The last book on this list is another Cosmic Footsteps future read, and that is The Deed of Paxenarian by Elizabeth Moon. This is a little bit of a chunk. This is definitely the longest book that I have on my Cosmic Footsteps TBR, but I've heard a lot of things about this book. I've heard it's really epic, I've heard the character work is really beautiful, and the premise sounds super intriguing. So again, I am very excited to cross this off of my bookish bucket list, and yeah, it's gonna be a chunk, but it's gonna be a good time, and I'm really looking forward to it. Alright guys, that is everything that I have for this book haul for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed. Definitely make sure to like and subscribe the video. Check out my description box below for all of the important links. And also, if you have purchased or been gifted a book this last month, let me know down in the comments. I would love to know what you are excited about hauling in the month of December or even January now. And yeah, I hope you guys are reading 5-star reads. I hope you're having a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.